Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Here we go.
Yay. Woo! We're all coming.
Welcome back, Shameless fans. We are back for another great after show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We're doing an after show for episode 8 tonight, and what a wonderful episode it was.
Wonderful.
Wonderful in so many ways, highs and lows. But before we begin, I just want to remind you all out there, if you haven't already subscribed to AFTERBUZZ TV here on YouTube, please go ahead and do that, because we're here every week. And if you guys like watching us and you don't want to miss us, go ahead and subscribe, because you'll see us in your YouTube feed every single week, and you get to talk with us about Shameless, which we love to do. Yeah. I'm your Joyce. You are Joyce. I am your Joyce. I'm your host for tonight. My name is Joyce, and you can catch me on Twitter at JJ Ajouri. That's JAJOURI. In between after shows, so we can talk about Shameless and anything else off the show. And I'm here with my wonderful co-host, JJ. How are you
Hi guys,
doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where can everyone find you?
You can follow me at JJ Jurgens.
Nice.
And I'm Hayley Clover. You can follow me on Twitter at Hayley Clover.
And I'm Drea Renee, finally back, and you can follow me at Drea Renee _N.
Yay.
Yay.
We're glad to have
missed
you
you.
back.
I know, I missed you guys
It's been so long that we've had the four of us here on panel.
I know.
So nice.
And on National, what is it, Women's Day?
Yeah.
I said I'm going to make it back for the women. Making it back.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad to have all of us together here so we can talk about this episode, which is called Uncle Carl. Oh man, Carl.
We knew it was coming.
We knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Something,
Oh, for sure. A
you
long
know,
time ago we knew.
Everything he's doing is going to catch up to him, and today was the episode. So why don't we start with the title character, and let's talk about Carl, because he is actually in trouble, which we talked about last week. We predicted he would be going to the slammer. There's no way that he was going to get away with this, you know, easily.
Yeah, I think we knew trouble, but I gotta say I am surprised about his attitude about it. Which I shouldn't be, but I thought that he might get a little more scared, but I didn't expect him to be kind of a total a-hole about it.
Yeah.
So that surprised me.
I don't think he understands exactly what's could happen to him and how serious jail is, because they've all been arrested.
Yeah. Right. And
And they all get out, and it's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
So,
and he probably thinks he's too young to be in there for too long.
well, right, that
that's
too.
what he
He's
said
not-
about Chucky. He's like, well, he's only 10 years old. Poor Chucky.
and he's 13.
Yeah, he's
and
amazing.
he's just
He's
small.
It's not small.
Are you sure you don't
Slow.
mean slow?
She's like, no, I know what I said. He's small. But yeah, he doesn't take it seriously at all, because he's just like, everybody's already done this, and like Frank doesn't care, and no one's like really flipping out about it, and he wants to like have that like bad boy image. You know?
Okay, Frank.
I was gonna say,
asshole.
I think we can attribute Carl's attitude to Frank, because Frank is the one that's, you know, he's got this weird bonding thing, like the way they bond is so like unconventional, obviously. So I think just the fact that Frank is so willing to be like, oh, Carl's slanging drugs, you know, like, great, good job,
Good
I'm
job,
gonna go with
Sam.
you.
Give Dad a
It's all
taste.
working on a Saturday.
I just feel like, I mean, and also Carl getting caught, like, that's just a testament to how clumsy he is with the whole drug dealing thing. And
Well, he's caught because Frank
called.
called.
Well, yeah,
that's what I
that's
can
true.
Called.
Yeah,
Right.
I couldn't believe this one. Like, because I mean, Frank does so many shameless
Why?
things, but to call and get his own son, because
and he's doing it on purpose because he's trying to win
that-
the war with Sammy.
Exactly.
So in the
Yeah.
end, it's all going to work out.
I was like, what
you
did
know,
he do that
but
for?
that's Frank's,
yeah,
benefit, but
Right,
not for
okay.
Carl or for.
But that's why I always think poor Carl, because he has given Frank like so many chances
like,
over and over, and
Yeah, exactly.
because he just wants his approval so much, and
That's
for
true.
Frank
Like
to
he
do this, like he
invited
had to
him,
know
yeah.
that regardless of his issues with Sammy, like you would know that this is gonna get your own son
Look,
in trouble.
killed.
You
He'll
know?
take anyone
yeah, to
down.
be killed. Yeah,
He'll
This
take
isn't-
anyone down to help himself. And clearly it doesn't end with it doesn't end with just like random strangers. He does it with his kids still.
And the nonchalance. He's just like back at the bar, just like, oh, well, anyway.
Looks like it's going to be a bad night for the liver.
Yeah. And very fitting toasting the rat when he's the rat that, like,
the one that just sticks around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, Frank.
Ratted out his own sons.
So crazy.
Damn. Can't believe that.
I can't believe Carl. I mean, again, I was saying, like, it just goes to show, like, how little he knows about this lifestyle, and how, as much as Frank is trying to teach him things and how to handle himself out there, it's not helping him.
What's also, he doesn't see any real consequences being served.
Yeah.
You know, like, everybody just kind of, it's like a joke, or Frank is just back at the house. Like, he's not dead. He's not, like, in jail forever. He's just like, well, everybody can just circle back, do some messed up stuff, and then everybody's fine.
Right.
Well, and regardless of the jail or not jail, whatever, but knowing that you're doing a run because someone got shot, you don't think you're going to get shot and killed by getting busted with all that heroin?
He's not even going that far.
Yeah. And
I can't for the life of me even remember why he started dealing drugs. I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't think they really touched up on the reason. I think he just wanted something to do.
Jesus does that sometimes. They just throw something real big at you and you're like, wait, why did that happen?
You're right, because he doesn't need money.
I mean, they always need money.
But I mean,
he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't need to do that.
He doesn't need it for tuition.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't have. Yeah. He doesn't
know.
have a week to come up with $5,000.
Exactly.
I can't believe it. But you know, like they said in the show, they're like, maybe this will be something to scare him straight. No,
I don't know about that.
And when the cop walked in to interrogate him, and we saw the drugs on the table, and Carl had that smile on his face, I was like, is the cop in on this? Like, does the cop want to buy this from him? I was like, wait a second.
Carl just doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
No,
That's true.
he's laughing because his family's back there. That they're finally like, all right, now that we realize he's getting questioned, don't talk, don't say anything.
Yeah.
We have to get a lawyer. Which
How old is Carl?
he's gonna be out of it.
I think he's
On the
13 or
show?
14.
On the show, okay.
Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, and he's in 6th grade still, right? He's repeating it
for the third
time.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I can't believe it. I was gonna say something, but I lost my train of thought. But aside from that, I can't believe he brought Chucky into it as badly as he did. I
Oh
mean,
my God, can we talk about Chucky?
yes,
please?
let's talk about Chucky. The poor
love
kid. I mean, he doesn't have a positive male figure in his life, and I think for a moment he figured maybe Carl would be his cool uncle.
I think it's so funny that Carl calls him niece.
No, how psychologically
First it was
Be a
slave.
good niece.
First it was
He's like,
slave.
I think
now
you
it's
mean
niece.
nephew.
Let's all be a good niece. Turn around. He's like, okay, Uncle Carl. I'm like, oh, Chucky.
So cute.
Even at the end, poor Chucky doesn't even like. He's like, oh, I didn't know we were gonna be neighbors, Uncle Carl.
He's like, tell me a story.
Oh man, I love when he said, "Why are you taping horse to my tummy?" Which I just learned that's a nickname for
Heroin?
whatever.
Oh,
Is it for heroin?
I didn't even know that.
Well, they said it twice in the
Not at the
show.
drug game.
The second time was Mickey's brother. He was like, "I only sell horse," and I was like, oh, "Okay,
I get it.
Now
Okay, I
understand.
didn't know that either.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean,
How does Chucky know that?
well, he told me
said
it was
He's like,
horse.
Oh,
Carl was like, "This is horse."
I was like, what, Chucky?
He's like, "Why is there a horse on my tummy?"
Oh, okay.
And how cute was his tummy?
Oh, it's so cute.
I died when he took his little shirt off. Oh,
I know.
so cute.
He's great. I like that that we know from Luca from last week. He said that he's such a joy on set. Like,
Yeah,
even
really
in
funny
real
kid.
life, he's so funny. Like, he's cute and he's
He's
lively.
really pretty eyes too.
Yeah.
He's really pretty little eyes.
He'd be cool to get on the show.
Yeah.
But we know, like we said earlier, you know, everyone in the family pretty much had second or third or fifth chances or whatever, and we've got Fiona who got out of jail, and now we have Ian who's on the path to recovery, you know, or so we thought in the beginning, and then we have Frank who was a huge, you know, contributor to this debacle that we had today. And let's talk about how he's trying to get Sammy to just leave, because she's sort of taking the role of the bigger sister of Fiona, and he hates having her around, even though she was helping him like get better and take his meds and stuff. And I love the way he's playing her, like kissing her ass and basically
How does no one see that though?
Well, because she's like
She's
you
a
said, she's a
psychopath.
psychopath.
Yeah, that's true.
She's delusional.
Like
And
Frank does this all the time. Like he's just like, okay, and there's always some motive.
Well,
you
what's
know?
funny though is that she's doing it to Fiona too at the same time.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like a big because she's
Yeah.
like, well, why aren't you going on tour? Why aren't you? You know, she's trying to get Fiona out of the house, just
Right.
like Frank's
You
trying
have
to
to
get
go.
Sammy out of the
Right.
house. And, yeah.
I
yeah.
did like Frank's the way he described her though, because I wrote that one down. He's like, it's the skank bitch versus the deranged psychopath, and the skank bitch should just stand up and leave, you know. But then the psychopath, you have to take a different approach. And so this is how we. So I like that he's
Carl's,
still
like,
trying to
taking
teach Carl.
notes. He's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
okay,
It's like,
thanks,
life lessons from Frank. Yeah.
it's terrible.
So,
Well, I mean, he knew how to appeal to her because for a moment she was taking it. Like she was, you know, not maybe she wasn't like 100% believing that they have a perfect relationship now, but the little things he was saying, like when they're in the hospital getting his wounds checked, and he was like, well, we both love it when I'm in pain or something because I get to spend more time with her. And she's just like, oh, Dad, you're right. Like, for a split second, she's like, wait a second. But then, because she wants that relationship so badly, she'll just believe it, let herself take it.
Yeah.
But he hit her good when he put Chucky in the middle of all this. Yeah. She went nuts.
Yes, and
Well,
I think
that's
that's
what he was
doing.
attention off of Frank,
Yeah, exactly. So he kind of got what he wanted.
per usual.
As per usual. He knows how to manipulate with people. Oh, that's crazy. But we talked about earlier how Sammy is sort of doing the same thing to Fiona and manipulating Fiona and telling her, like, don't let your, you know, what guitarist, or what is he, bassist?
Yeah.
He's a bassist? Yeah, she's like, don't let him go on tour without you. There's a 1,000-mile rule that once he's away, he could cheat on you and it's totally fine. So she kind of plants that seed into his head and she kind of freaks out. Because as, you know, as bad as it was that she cheated on him, like, she doesn't want the relationship to end, or so she thinks.
Right.
So what do you guys think of her trying to follow Sean's advice and grovel instead of give him the space?
Well, first, I think Sean is hilarious now that he's coming back in and giving advice.
Yeah.
When he's giving the most ambiguous, comments.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what I'm saying. He's
Right.
like, what are you
and
talking
he's doing
about?
it on purpose to kind of torture Fiona a little bit. Because I think he still probably has some feelings, like you said.
Absolutely, he does.
Yeah. So I think that's interesting, but I was glad that Fiona did go and grovel a little bit and try to beg. I don't think she got the reaction she thought she was going to get.
Right.
But I was glad that she at least tried.
I didn't like buy her sincerity though.
Really?
No, it wasn't like. I mean, I knew she was like trying to be like sensitive and get him back, but it just seemed kind of like whatever. I think that's why his reaction was kind of like, well, I'm like leaving now.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. And
it's like I see your tears. I see them coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know.
I like it's still your fault.
Yeah, I like the way that this was all written and the way they dealt with it, because because I don't think he should have just been like, okay, yeah, that's great, okay, never mind, you're forgiven. And I think the advice that she needed to grovel, I do think she did need to do it, because I think she's always kind of had this flippant attitude, and by giving him the space, it just kind of is like,
just
I don't give a fuck, whatever.
Yeah,
and she's always, I think in that situation she needed to be the one going to him and trying to piece it back together.
I think what she did was the right thing also. I mean, you're right, she didn't get the reaction she wanted, which is okay to me on Gus's part, because Fiona can't always, she doesn't always get what she wants, but in this relationship where she would think that, everything's going to be okay if I just say sorry again, or if I just grovel, like, the fact that it's not easy for her to get, Gus's approval or respect back, I liked that. I liked seeing that consequence as part of what she did.
Because I feel like I was just saying earlier, they all kind of like circle back and it's fine. There's not any real consequences. So
I thought it was a little weird too, and maybe not even weird's the right word, but that she could just get on the tour bus and leave in the midst of everything that's going on. She's like, give me a couple weeks and then I'll get in the bus and we'll be fine.
The van.
Like, in the van. Not even a bus, a van. And just, go off and in this like fantasy world again. It's like, you can't just leave.
And then try to prepare your marriage on a van with other band members.
Guys,
like, what's up,
well,
girl?
and one of the band members too is Travis, right? That's his name.
The one that blew her off at that date.
But it's funny that he was blowing her off then because she's like, "Oh, you told him, huh?" But why would he be mad? He's the one that brought her to the bar when he was with the girlfriend. So it's like you think he would have been like, "Oh, high five, nice move," or you know,
like, "Oh, girl, I get it."
Right? Yeah. He probably would want her to come on the van. Think he might get a little action.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it's not even like a trailer or like an RV. It's like a straight up van.
Yeah.
Where they probably don't want to stay for the next however long they're going to be out on tour.
No, my ex was on tour a lot. It's disgusting. Like, that's why I was like, girl, you don't want to be in that
Have
van.
you ever been on tour?
Yes.
What did you think about the 1,000-mile rule?
Awful. Girl, he will get his neck broken, honey. Ain't no
Was that a real rule?
Yeah, is that real?
No, it wasn't. Not with me, it wasn't. His neck is still intact. So.
You're like, that's why I went on tour then.
Okay, girl. I don't play.
Yeah, I liked Gus's reaction because it sort of left it up for interpretation. Now we know, like, he's probably going to, like he said, think about this whole marriage thing. And when he comes back, I mean, this is getting into prediction territory, but I don't think he's going to stick with it. I mean, I don't know. That's just the feeling I get. He kissed her, you know, pretty passionately when she first got there. And then when he was leaving after he told her, like, you can't come with us.
And he needs to think, which means to go
He needs to think. Well, see, I don't think he's going to do that. Like, I don't think he's the kind of guy who would do that.
You think, I'll think. You know?
Otherwise, he wouldn't have been so upset that Fiona cheated on him. Right?
know, girl.
That's what I
mean,
think. Gus
Kevin
is
Vere
good.
thinking. You
Oh,
know, like,
yeah.
really thinking?
Yes. He is so hot.
Well, and when Sean said, when a guy's thinking,
It's
thinking
over.
there's
That's what I'm
space, it's over.
saying. You get cheated on and you don't hear from the person?
I think that's probably maybe how they're writing it too. Like, it's like, how much further can that relationship go on before it's just like, they're married?
Yeah. The next drama
Yeah.
is them getting a divorce. And I
Right.
think the whole Sean Fiona thing is not over. It's just not over. And I think
They
Gus
work
and
together.
Fiona splitting is a good way to reintroduce that storyline.
Yeah, maybe.
So
Yeah.
I hope Steve gets to stay
I'm
on the show,
torn.
though.
For some reason, I kind of think they
they're going to stick it out.
maybe, yeah, but I don't know. For the storyline, for me too, it makes sense that he needs to go now and be done. There needs to be somebody else, but.
Do you think she'll cheat on him again with
Yes,
Sean,
girl.
perhaps?
Yes.
Yeah?
100%.
Sean could be the one, yeah.
Or do you think she's going to be like, no, like, I need to stick with what I told him. Like, I'm sorry. I need you. I miss
Fiona's
you.
weak.
She
What I
says
did was
that all the
stupid.
time.
But she always trying to
It's true.
change. She always trying to change. And then she's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But I wonder if Sean's going to be the one that's going to, like, actually change her. He seemed to give her some...
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that because I mean they understand each other.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he gave her, I would say, pretty decent advice.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. It was true.
There's something super sexy about Sean.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
whether
agree.
that's just me or... I mean,
No, I agree with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's something just such
Yeah.
that... He's like dirty badass.
Yeah.
And, like,
Totally.
and
he has that lip.
the craziest
Yeah, and
thing...
a scar on his eyebrow.
Yes.
And
I
I've
mean,
been checking him
Chaos
out.
turns him on, like... I'll be fighting with him every day. Whatever works.
whatever works.
That could be. I think you guys could be right because, you know, he has a diner right there where she'd still be. I mean, if Gus is a musician and always going to be on the road,
And he's
it'd be a
right
tough
in the
relationship
mix.
for you know the family. Yeah.
And
Yep.
I like that Sean cares about her enough to, like, let her take all these days off. I mean...
You should just be leaving when they're like, oh, come at work and get me. I'm like, girl, you can't even leaving your job like that. What y'all doing? That ain't realistic.
That would be so nice.
But I think because of who Sean is, like, he's really sympathetic to all his employees. I mean, he had, what was her name, Jackie, who OD'd,
Oh, yeah.
right? And, like...
Yeah, with the daughter.
I feel like he's really sympathetic towards
Yeah.
people who have, you know...
Well, he's gone
shit
through
to
a lot
deal
of
with.
stuff
Yeah.
with
He's
himself.
gone through a
so-
lot, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as much as maybe he wants to keep Fiona and, like, you know, keep her, like, free and unmarried, I think he just wants her to, like, take care of her life. and
Right.
deal with Gus and deal with her family and everything. I like Sean.
Me too.
He's gonna stick around.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I also really like the moment between Fiona and Lip when they were picking up Ian. And just when, like, the very few moments we see them bond is just really nice. When they were talking about Ian, I think, before, when she was like, this place makes me vomit. And, you know, the fact that Lip comes back and forth to help her out with that.
I'm loving Lip.
Oh,
This last couple
so
episodes.
much.
Talk about him.
So
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I just wrote Emmy, like, next to his name.
Yes.
Like,
That monologue.
What was that?
That monologue, like, I was tearing up the whole time.
Okay.
I was watching
Yes.
with my family, and my brother was saying something in my ear, and I was like, stop it right now. And I just sat there and I listened to his monologue. I've never heard that kind of talk come out of Lip before. So
Not like that.
Really good.
I was like, Lip, you owe me some new concealer. Okay. I was like, oh my God.
Mascara. Yeah, I love the way he tried to level with the counselor. The counselor wasn't really having
Stupid
any
financial aid guy won't even.
I know. I was like,
Like, really?
Yeah.
1 week.
Yeah.
I'm glad
That's how, I mean, that's how it is, though.
No, it was realistic. It actually, that is realistic, so.
Yeah, which is good.
Which I'm glad the counselor wasn't like, I hear this bullshit every day, dude. You know?
That would have killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have killed me too. So I'm glad he gave Lip the chance to like kind of open up, which was probably the most difficult thing for him to do, especially to someone of authority who basically makes or breaks his college career at this point.
I'm like, can he get like 2-3 weeks? Dang,
Yeah,
if he's making $786, like just give him a little time.
Well, it's so true with what he was saying. If he goes back to the house,
Yes.
he's not coming back,
He's
which
not
is
coming
what
back.
really got me, because you can tell how guilty he feels for not being around to help the family, and especially with Ian now. They were super close before everything kind of went, on a downward spiral for Ian. So it would be really disappointing, I think, for the audience even to see him fail now and not finish out college because he's so smart.
Yeah. And we kind of learned that not only does he, really want to be in college, but he's actually doing it for his family.
Yeah. Right.
Like he actually has he's there. I mean, it's kind of out of guilt, but like he wants to be there to help his family and in the long run make sure that Liam and Debs and Carl are okay.
Yeah, he's trying to give everyone a future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a lot of responsibility for Lip to hold.
And to show Carl and these kids just something different. Like, you can go and do these things that no one thinks that you can do. That, Frank will tell you, don't let the man get you or whatever, just to make something better of himself.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, he had a really fantastic episode. And can we talk about when we first got introduced to him this episode when he was fucking Amanda?
Yes.
Whoa! So hilarious.
I was not ready. I was like, oh, okay.
That was a random lesbian. There's always like a random lesbian somewhere. We got the Lisa's coming back. I mean, it's just
that was her roommate, which cracked me up. That was really weird to watch with my family, by the way.
Don't you hate that? And everybody looking around like, oh.
I mean,
if Luca Oriel can watch it with his parents, we can watch it with our parents.
That's true.
That's true.
But I thought it was so funny. I love how Amanda was like, she went down on me twice, and now she thinks I'm in love with her. She's like, come over here right now and face me, Amanda. It's so great.
Oh, I like Amanda.
I have to be honest, I kind of forgot about her the past couple episodes. We
Amanda,
really
I did
see
too.
Her. Yeah.
And then she just like pops up. Like, oh, hey, girl.
I'm glad she's still around.
My cute boobs.
She's around.
I'm working at.
She's around for sure. It was great.
Oh, I wonder how awkward that is to shoot that.
I mean, girl.
I don't know.
Because they had to cut a few times. Like, oh, okay. All right.
Well, and and like how awkward is it for him? Like, they're not actually having sex, so it's just like tucked under, and they're just like, it's just so weird.
And then when she pulled back and she was just sitting on him and they're like talking, and I'm like, oh, can we not cut?
Well, they
weren't
done. I mean, they weren't done. They had to keep going.
Yes.
That was really funny.
She's like, I'm almost close. And I'm like, girl, is that how you roll? I don't roll like that.
Hey, he's not complaining.
Right.
That's all good. But yeah, I was a little worried today when he decided to kind of to get more money, an effort to get more money to pay off.
Yeah.
He wanted to sell drugs, and he brought Kev into this. I mean, we know that from previous seasons they sold weed in the guise of an ice cream truck, of ice cream vendors. So he wanted to do it sans the ice cream truck with Kev, and since it was in the dorms and it's rush week and everyone's gonna get high and drunk all week,
right?
Perfect time, perfect setting. And Kev, it wasn't hard to convince him because he's always wanted to go to college.
It took 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I was nervous about that though, because when he's like, no, I have kids now, I was just like, oh no, I hope he doesn't, he doesn't get in trouble. But
he kind of
I have to say, I didn't expect him to do what he did.
Really?
I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, me too.
I was just thinking like, he's gonna get away. He's gonna just kind of have fun and get high and drunk. I didn't think he was going to, as we find out later, sleep with a college girl.
Can we take a moment for that scene though, where they did like the pan of his body? Like,
obsessed.
Yeah,
girl.
Yeah.
Steve, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, he very sexy
cute little
man.
tush.
Very, very sexy man.
Well, that girl wanted it. She was going after it, whether she roofied him or whatever.
She was having it.
Yeah, about her dad. Yeah.
She's like, well, I like my dad.
Yeah, like,
it's creepy.
Like, what does
we don't
that
like
mean?
our dads, but we don't like our dad. Like, I love my daddy, but I don't love my dad.
Even we had weird stuff like Sammy slapping Frank's ass. It's like, I've never slapped my dad's ass.
Never.
You know,
I'm just kidding.
Okay, go bye.
Let alone seen it, like, out in the open.
Oh, I've seen his ass plenty of times, but we're kind of shameless in that sense. We had one bathroom growing up like these people,
Oh,
but
yeah, there you go.
I love it.
there's a big old birthmark
Whatever,
on
it's your
his ass. I know these things, but
But you're not going to touch it.
I'm not going to slap that birthmark.
All right, Dad. All right. Just get on
Put the
it.
birthmark away. Let's go.
Funny. But yeah, Kev kind of escaped being a dad for the weekend. Or for the I mean, I thought he was going to
Which
come
was
back.
cool to finally see V with the kids, with the
Yes.
girls.
Yeah.
She had him in the bathtub at the end of the episode, you know, and I was finally like, oh,
Yeah.
Yes, I remember when I was watching this and I saw her turn down Mr. Eddie Murphy, and I wrote go V, and I was like, finally, like she turned him down, she was rejecting him, she kind of put everything into perspective thanks to Svetlana and Fiona, and when we saw, you know, I was really happy for V, and then I was like, go Kev, he's making money for the girls and whatever, and then like the last scene comes up, we pan to his naked body, I'm like, no, Kevin, no.
Well, I was like, yes, Kevin.
And I even wrote down here, I was like, I was gonna ask you guys, is her date just as bad as Svetlana paying her rent to Kev? Because I didn't. This was before I saw the whole. Kevin.
The rent thing is settled now, right?
I think everybody's fine.
Yeah, everyone's fine with that. But I was thinking this before I saw Svetlana pay rent to be.
Yeah, rent's done.
I think rent's good.
Can I just say how much I love Svetlana?
I love her. I liked her this
I love
episode.
her.
She's doing
so
her
much.
wifely duties.
I love her so much. She's like no bullshit. She's like, life is fucked up. Like, life is not this or that.
Yeah.
And I love the way she put that in perspective for V. And the combination of her words and Fiona telling her to just work it out with Kev. Like, you know, that's what got V to consider.
They're going to get back together for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Absolutely.
they're going to have sex finally. And
Is she
it's
gonna
going to
get
be
mad
okay.
about what happened for like 2 seconds? And fuck it.
See, I don't know.
And then he's going to find out that she went on a date with Eddie Murphy.
See, I don't know. I think the opposite.
You don't think they're getting back together?
I don't think it'll be that easy.
No, but I think that eventually.
Well, eventually, but I feel like...
Well, we only got a couple episodes left. They're
but
going to
hurry
get
up.
back together.
Let's talk about real quick though how creepy Eddie Murphy was.
What's with that
How
kiss?
we're all
though?
like, yeah,
so weird.
Like Gemma and the twins.
Yeah.
And
He's
just,
like, I remember.
And you're like, no.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
don't.
kiss somebody like that?
right
Like,
away. Like, yeah.
Can I get a drink?
No,
first?
thank you. No, thank you.
Not even at the
He
table
just
yet.
screamed skis.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
yes, I wrote
The
scumbag
Eddie
on my
Murphy
notes.
name just cracks me up though.
Right.
He must have been laughing when they were like, let's put Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
It's perfect because I love how V has to justify it every time. She's like, no, not
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy,
Not the
actor.
comedian, yeah.
Just, you know, like, yeah, every
From
time.
my high school. From my high school.
It's
Like,
so
you went to high school,
funny.
Eddie Murphy. Forget it. Just let me, whatever.
But I feel like as hard as it was, it was really hard for V to just sort of be like, okay, I'm gonna admit I'm wrong. Like, I'm gonna
She
take.
can't do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was so hard for her to come to those terms. So if she finds out that Kevin slept with someone away at college, I don't think it's gonna be easy for her to be like, whatever. Like, what I did was wrong. I think it's gonna be like, well, I finally came to terms. It was so difficult for me, and now I'm finding out that my husband actually cheated on me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
I
I have a feeling
can't-
Kevin's not going to know he cheated on her. That's my guess. He was passed out, hammered before it ever happened, and he's going to wake up naked alone and not realize. Or he's going to wake up and the girl's going to be there and he's going to be like, whoa, what
Yeah,
happened?
that's what he's gonna do.
Because even when Svetlana was, you know, doing her wifely duties, he was, at first was like, no, you can't do that. I mean, they both did, and then both let her finish.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious.
It always goes down. No!
Okay, I'm already halfway there anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't think he did it on purpose. but
No,
that's my prediction.
I think he was messed up. I
can do no
don't think
wrong.
he did it, you know, in spite of
Yeah.
it just happened.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
what they say.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Do you think he'll tell her right away? If
Yeah,
he
he'll
knows
tell
it
her.
happened, do you think he'll tell
tell
her
her.
right away? Or do you think he'll come home, see her with the kids, love it, and not want to fuck it up?
Yeah, but he'll
hide it.
whether
maybe
he waits to
maybe he will tell her, and then V will be like, well, it's okay because Svetlana did this, and then he'll be like,
care.
Well, Svetlana also did that to me, and then she'll be like, what?
Like, Svetlana, get out.
Yeah, right.
She's been so helpful. Also, Kevin. Can we talk about Can we talk about Kevin's reaction to the mouse?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I laughed so hard.
I know. Just like manly big guy.
Yeah.
So funny. So funny.
He was quick too, jumping up there.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Nice and
Such an
agile.
Yes. Natural athlete.
Yeah, girl. Honey, don't mess with me, it's Steve.
Well, that was funny, but what wasn't funny, unfortunately, was Ian coming out of the psych ward and just basically he's still denying, you know, the disorder that they diagnosed him with. And
I almost believed him too. He almost convinced me.
Really?
When he was talking to Fiona. Yes, for like 1 second. I was like, maybe he's. That's on the next day. I was like, okay.
Well,
right.
we were talking about it last week, how the fact that he was denying it was probably his way of saying that he has something else. But it might just be, you know, part of the disorder where he just, you know, thinks he's fine. Like, everything's fine.
Well, I mean, I would imagine it's really hard to come to terms with any kind of mental illness.
And you don't usually know you're crazy when you're crazy. That's what's up.
True.
Yeah.
Well, and he makes a good point. You know, it's like in his eyes, the family of craziness. It's like, you know, I thought he had a good point with Fiona, where he's like, you know, I'm not any more Monica than you are. You know, so it's like how I can see where the lines would be a little blurry for him about why am I more crazy than you are? You guys all do fucked up shit. You know,
right? No, it's true.
So they all have a quality of hers that they hated one way or another.
Yeah.
And they all act upon it sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and it is hard in this situation too, because like he says, he's coming off of all of these drugs. It's like you look at him and he does look totally different, but is it because he's just so sedated from all of this stuff?
Yeah, he's still,
you know, when he does finally come out of it, is he going to be a little better? Maybe now that Mickey's finally supportive again?
I think this episode he was on the drugs, obviously, so he was kind of, you know, out of it, and like the doctor said, if, you know, after a couple of days he should stabilize. So I think today he was sedated and he was very much low. But we see in the previews for next week that he kind of goes into this manic high, and he's obviously not on his drugs. So I don't. But
That was scary.
I like how he said that being on those pills made him feel like life wasn't worth living anymore. Excuse me. Which, you know, was so sad for me to hear from Ian.
He looked just so down.
I just feel like no one understands what he's going through, just like no one really understood what Monica was going through. It was just, all they saw was how they acted, how Ian's acting. It's just, they want him to take the meds, but they don't understand that he doesn't want to feel like he's just a robot or a zombie all the time.
I think they understand. I think they understand after they've seen what their mom went through. As much as so I don't know if it's that. I just think it's, you know, it's they can't make him take his meds, and they can't, you know, it's just
maybe
it's a tough situation to
I
almost cried at that last scene too.
I know.
Oh, like help me.
I was glad he came back. But I knew he was going to after what Debbie said. Which was really another good scene.
Did you talk about how crazy he looked though in that scene? I was like, whoa. Like, he looked a little nuts.
All right, so you don't want to see him naked, but you want to see Kevin naked. Okay, I got it.
I liked him rocking out with that little guitar over.
I thought he was jerking off.
In a way, I don't know. I mean, mentally.
I think it's a good episode though of showing the other characters all trying to deal with this and process it too. Because like we have Debs at the beginning punching the punching bag with our cute little Luca, you know, like so it's like everybody's trying to process, and they're mad at their mom for like having them all have to deal with this, you know. And then Mickey, he just knows to drink, to be angry drink, you know. So
I really, sorry not to interrupt you. I really wish Luca would have been here after the line about his hemorrhoids. How his dad had hemorrhoids, but he got them, you know, less. It wasn't as bad like Monica has bipolar disorder, but he's not going to have it as bad.
But I'm okay. I'm dealing with it.
I would love to have asked him about that because he, you know, would have been like,
said that. I was like, did I hear that?
I know.
Right? And I saw the word pop up on the screen. I was like, oh, he said hemorrhoids.
It was a surprise out of his mouth too, because he's so young tongue too. Like wait.
I wonder if this is the first like real truth he's ever told Deb.
And she was like, "You're so nice.
Yeah,
You're awesome.
You're awesome."
hemorrhoids aren't gross.
I hope he got that script and was like, "What is a hemorrhoid, Mom? What is that?" She's like, "Oh shit. Okay, give me 1 second."
So funny. I love it. I love that Deb's was Mickey's kick in the butt.
Yeah.
It was so great because we see her in the beginning. She feels so guilty because she was
my
tasked with the
God,
responsibility to
yeah.
make sure that Ian takes his meds, and the fact that she like essentially like failed. I mean, granted, she didn't mean to. I mean, she was going to help out, but she got distracted with Derek and you know wanted to keep text flirting
I
and
like
stuff.
your butt.
Yeah.
She felt so guilty.
Send that to Steve from
and
me.
for her to redeem herself that way was really cool. I mean, she figured out who to go to, and she went to Mickey. And
Yeah, I loved her going in and trying to pretend like she was crazy.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Oh my God.
I see
She was
knives.
resourceful. Yeah.
I see knives.
Like, you're keeping me here for 3 days. Girl, bye.
And then she goes like, "Oh, she's awesome."
it was so
The doctor
so
knew too
great.
the whole time.
Yeah.
He was just like,
Do you want to
"Okay."
get checked in for 72 hours? Thought
She's
so.
like a psych ward. He's like, exactly like a psych ward, girl.
Well, good for her for trying to be resourceful.
Yeah, she tried.
And that's when she decided Mickey was the right route. And I think Mickey realized, like she said, you can't drink him away. It's not going to go away.
No, it
like
does
you either
not.
want to face it or you want to just leave. And I'm sure it was really hard. It seemed like it was really hard for Ian to have Mickey's absence in this episode. He wasn't picking up his calls. He wasn't visiting him. He didn't show up at the psych ward when he was getting released. So I really think this is going to be Mickey's like turning point.
I like how they also address the weight of that issue. Like, I understood Mickey going and drinking because having to process, do you want to spend the rest of your life with somebody who is bipolar and is going through this? Because what it means for your family, and if you it's definitely not just a he drinks a little bit kind of decision to like, or you know, whatever little problem you could have in a relationship, or you know, he's messy, you know, this is like a giant thing.
Exactly.
So it's, I think him taking that time and
to think about
process
it,
it's important.
I agree. It's funny or interesting how things all come full circle with how Debbie was saying Frank did the same thing and would always mean drink
And then come
when
back.
Monica, you know, was crazy and you know, having her episodes, and then he would always come back. And who knows whether, you know, that could have been the start of Frank's, you know, alcoholism, and we don't know, but yeah, it's crazy how things kind of...
These writers are so amazing with these like storylines. How it's just so good.
Right, they continue all the way.
Yeah, they do, and how they all like interweave. They're so good.
And I loved Mickey's line at the end where he's like, "Sorry, I'm late."
Yeah, that's when it was like,
Right on time. It's okay.
Concealer.
It's okay. It's fantastic.
You know,
It was a rough one.
I'm glad he decided to, you know, come and help and stick around. I mean, I hope he could help Ian take the meds, unless he thinks that Ian shouldn't be taking them. So
I think he's gonna go that way probably.
like he's gonna
That he
be
doesn't
like,
need
this
them?
is who he is. This is how he's gonna be, and
Like, fuck
I'm
you
going to
guys.
deal with it. I'm
Yeah,
going to be
he's
there
like
with him
that.
every step of the way.
I think the opposite. They're going to find his drugs and get him. I mean, because
I hope so.
even, you know, even in real life, not in the story, people that are bipolar can, you know, help the disorder by taking their meds. He just needs to get past that couple day point, like the doctor said.
2 weeks,
so I'm hoping Mickey does help
that.
him so that they can have, you know, somewhat of a normal
I wonder how they're
relationship.
gonna get refills.
Oh, they'll figure it out. It's drugs.
yeah,
But drugs that nobody gets high up on the streets.
Well,
Didn't V used to have? V had some access to some
That's
drugs,
true.
right?
She had
Back in the day.
Yeah.
She had a big,
and as we said, they're
cupboard.
such great writers. They'll just figure that out in the storyline.
Yeah. Or he goes back and gets them from the psychiatrist.
Oh yeah. Or maybe he'll do that.
Probably he can. I think the only person who could actually sway Ian will be Mickey, and I can't wait to see their relationship grow in this aspect. So
Yes, me too.
I agree.
oh, I love them so much. We touched upon Debs a little bit. She didn't have too much. I mean, she did a great thing this episode. She moved a lot of the plot along in a great way. So I think that helped her feel better about the fact that she wasn't around when Ian decided to throw his pills away. So go Debs.
Go Debbie.
Did a good thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Well, I think we covered everybody in this episode. Do
Yeah,
you want
we
to
did.
touch upon anything I didn't say or have anything else to add? I'm good.
We got through everything.
Except I just hope Kevin V, like, you know,
Are we doing?
they were so heartbreaking.
prediction?
Yeah.
We can do predictions.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I had one.
And now,
Slipped my brain.
your AfterBuzz
Kind of already
TV
made one.
predictions.
I already made that.
All right. Who wants to go first?
We did kind of make a.
We made some.
we made a little
way
bit,
already, yeah.
We did. Drea, do you have any? You want to start off?
Fiona and Gus, not going to work out. That's what I'm predicting. I think Lip with school, I think he'll figure it out. I'm predicting I'm nervous that he'll end up doing something really dangerous, though. Like, that's what I'm kind of nervous about. That could maybe get him in trouble and he can't go to school anyway.
Because that's a lot of money to come up with in a week.
In a week?
Yeah.
Did he say he was 6,000 or now he's 5,000?
Well, it was 6,000 and he got 700 and something dollars. Yeah, so
a little over $5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm nervous about that.
Eesh. I don't know.
Yeah, me too.
Hayley, what about you?
I'm still thinking. I made a couple, I think, while we were talking.
I know we always touch upon them beforehand.
It's so hard not to.
Yeah.
Because
And I
it's
had
like,
one while we were doing it. I should have written it down because now I forgot what it
the
was.
real
gonna
Eddie
be.
Murphy makes a cameo. That's my prediction.
That would be hilarious. And that's the
That's my
one.
prediction, and I'm sticking with it.
That's the one V sleeps with. Actually,
There we go. And it's,
that
would be awesome.
I love it.
JJ?
Man, I'm gonna go with that one. Yeah, I can't think.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Yeah.
Well, I think Carl's going to have it very hard. Like, he's not going to get out of jail easy. He's not going to have a get out of jail easy card. Chucky's
he don't get one.
Chucky's going to be okay. He's going to fly to that, no problem. I mean, he was clearly the victim in all of this.
I didn't know.
But I guess Carl is the victim too of Frank's manipulation. So.
Yeah.
But still, he's going to have to pay for this one. And yeah, I don't think Fiona and Gus are going to work out this season in the long run. And maybe V is going to blame Lip for Kev doing what he did if he tells her, or if he knows, or if she finds out. So
yeah,
I don't know. But I think Lip's going to make it work too.
Yeah, he'll make it work.
He'll stay.
He'll make it work. Or maybe he'll get it from that girl. The girlfriend.
Amanda.
Oh, she has a ton of money. Why doesn't she ask it?
Right? He has too much
that's
pride.
a good prediction
That is a
right
good
at the
one.
end, coming out of nowhere.
Or maybe he gets, because he was going to go to work for the dad for the internship. So maybe he asked the dad, like, for an advance.
Yeah,
And then he
that's
works
what
it
he'll
off
do.
in the
That's
summer.
what he'll do.
Yeah. I did want to add really quick.
do
I
it,
was
Lip.
reading an article on Shameless, and Emmy Rossum was saying how she was actually disappointed in Fiona's story this season.
Oh, really?
Really?
She's disappointed in Fiona. In what she was doing.
In her choices, right. Got it.
Not in the character, obviously, but just,
Right.
the way she's, handling things and all that stuff. So
Interesting.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. All right.
Yeah.
I guess we're all set for tonight. Yeah. Good show tonight, guys.
Yeah,
well,
very good.
thank you all so much for watching this after show here on AfterBuzz TV for Shameless. I'm your host, Joyce. You guys can catch me on Twitter and Instagram at JAJOURI. And JJ, where can everyone find you?
Hey guys, I'm at JJ Jurgens on Twitter, JurgensJJ on Instagram, and you can follow my blog at tomgirl.tv.
Cool.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Hayley Clover.
And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Drea Renee _N. And Steve Howie, I love you.
Yeah, guys, follow us.
Seriously, just call her already.
Just call her. Tweet her. You have her Twitter, Steve Howie. Don't forget to subscribe to AfterBuzz here on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, all that stuff. Catch you guys next week, and that's all. Have a good night. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.